Today in Public Eye News, a Gladstone man is arrested on counts of child sexually abusive material, and later Governor Whitmer activates the State Emergency Operations Center for flooding in Sheboygan.
Coming up, Teddy Morey has your weather forecast, where we'll take a look at conditions heading into the weekend and early next week. And later, Kenneth Hickmont will take us through today's exciting sports updates. I'm Miro Bokovic.
And I'm Emma Maratz. You're watching Public Eye News. A Gladstone man has been arrested on charges of aggravated possession of child sexually abusive material. The Michigan State Police Computer Crimes Internet Crimes Against Children arrested Andrew Lee Gagowski, age 42, after an investigation that shared that Gagowski had illicit content that he proceeded to share online. Digital evidence was seized after a search of Gagowski's residence. Gagowski was charged with 2 counts of child sexually abusive material aggravated, 2 counts of child sexually abusive material possession, and 4 counts of using a computer to commit a crime. Gagowski was arraigned in court on April 9th. And the St. Ignace Police Department is working with the Michigan Office of Highway Safety to promote National Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Police officers will be reminding drivers on ways to drive safely and remind drivers about the hands-free driving law, which has been in effect since June 30th, 2023. According to the Michigan Traffic Crash Facts, in 2024, there were over 14,439 accidents from distracted driving and included 65 fatalities. Violating the hands-free driving law is costly, with the first offense costing $100 or 16 hours of community service. The second offense is a $250 fine or 24 hours of community service, and the third offense requires a driving improvement course if all 3 offenses are within a 3-year period.
The 30th Annual Celebration of Student Scholarship will be held at Northern Michigan University's Jamrich Hall on Thursday, April 16th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This event includes presentations by undergraduate and graduate students from various areas of study and will include posters, visual art, and performances. NMU's President Chris Olson will start the event with an opening ceremony at 9 a.m., followed by student presentations until 3 p.m. The event will end with a closing ceremony that includes several presentations from Winter Research Day, 3-minute thesis, and 3-minute presentation winners, as well as performances from NMU students. And Michigan manufacturing has made it around the moon. Around 78 Michigan organizations provided products for the ongoing Artemis II mission. In a statement by Governor Gretchen Whitmer, these aerospace investments are to benefit the state's economy by increasing jobs and bringing in additional defense funding. Contributors included the University of Michigan, Elmont Technologies, Moeller Aerospace, and more. Michigan has previously contributed to similar missions, such as the Apollo spacecraft, through manufacturing and research. The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is working on a space innovation hub with a budget of up to $1.2 million to further these initiatives. Nationally, spending in the space industry is expected to increase by over $1 trillion over the next decade. And a unique charity is changing lives through horseback riding. Kamal Afsali introduces us to a club in London that is giving disadvantaged children the chance to develop skills for life.
9-year-old Matthew Sanchez gears up for his horse riding lesson. Before it starts, he's got some cleaning to do, but he's up for the task.
I like that the horses are very kind. They don't really care. They're just so chill.
Like Matthew, this club is where many kids first encounter horses.
It just feels nice to do something, like we get an advantage a little.
For 30 years, the Ebony Horse Club in London's Brixton neighbourhood has taught children from disadvantaged backgrounds. While horse lessons can run about $150 an hour, here the lessons are free. Riding instructor Rachel Scott Hayward sees it as a passion she wants to pass on.
And I suppose, you know, when you love something yourself, sharing it with others is, well, it's really rewarding.
She says as students learn to ride, groom animals and clean stables, they can develop trust and confidence in just weeks. Experts say it can also help with anxiety and get kids off screens and social media. But the first time can be nerve-wracking.
At the bit where they were going to trot, I got scared a bit, but I was like, maybe I should just give it a try, because if you try, maybe it will be better.
An unlikely opportunity that's changing lives, one ride at a time. Kamal Afzali, CBS News, London.
Don't go anywhere, we'll have your weather and statewide news after this break.
Saturday night at 11, WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Teddy Maury here with your Public Eye weather forecast. Starting off with a look at our NMU roof cam. Just like yesterday, as you could see, we got a lot of snow meltage and some of the grass is starting to come back as we get warmer temperatures, as spring seems to have finally sprung across the Upper Peninsula. And where we take a closer look at that, though, we do see quite a lot of overcast across the whole Upper Peninsula, with only really Ironwood getting any sun, and temperatures ranging from about the mid-30s to early 40s. However, the National Weather Service has issued a flood advisory starting tomorrow and lasting until Wednesday the 15th. So keep that in mind and stay safe out there in case this flood begins. But looking at back in Marquette, though, as the rest of the Upper Peninsula is overcast, but the temperature is 36 degrees currently, with the winds coming from the northwest at 10 miles per hour, and our barometric pressure is 30.24 inches and rising. But looking into tonight, it's going to be mostly clear tonight with a low of 30 degrees and the winds coming from the southwest at 5 miles per hour, and our moon phase is going to be a waning crescent. But looking into our weekend, it's going to be sunny on Saturday, so go out there and enjoy the sun on tomorrow while you can, with a high of 49 degrees and a low of 37, and the winds coming from the southwest at 5 miles per hour. But that sun is not going to last as we look into the next few days. Sunday, we're expected to have thunderstorms on Sunday with a high of 57 degrees and a low of 46. Monday, though, there's going to be some sun coming back with a high of 51 and a low of 38. But Tuesday, the rain will return, but not as severe as it was on Sunday, with a high of 46 and a low of 37. That's all I have for your weather today. Here is Emma Maratz.
Thanks, Teddy, for the weather update. Hopefully the warmer weather is here to stay. Now on to statewide news. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has activated the State Emergency Operations Center today due to concerns about water levels in the Sheboygan River. In the past 24 hours, the water level has risen 18 inches below the top of the Sheboygan Dam, and if the level hits below 12 inches of the crest, then additional public safety measures will need to be taken. A large piece of ice has also damaged one of the safety wires, and the Department of Natural Resources has closed access points. The National Weather Service has stated that above average rain and snowpack has caused over 5 inches to gather. With warmer temperatures expected, water is most likely to accumulate. And spring turkey season is right around the corner, and the Michigan Department of Natural Resources is reminding hunters about reporting their hunt. The spring turkey season starts on April 18th, and a new rule this year is that all hunts must be recorded within 72 hours of harvest or location of the turkey. Hunts can be reported two ways, either online through the Michigan DNR website or through the Michigan DNR Hunt Fish app. When submitted, a confirmation number will be given. More information about the spring turkey hunt can be found on michigan.gov/DNR. And Vice President J.D. Vance said he thinks negotiations this weekend to end the war in Iran will be positive as he left for Pakistan this morning. The talks come as the ceasefire remains shaky over disagreements regarding the Strait of Hormuz and Israel's strikes in Lebanon. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
Vice President J.D. Vance struck an optimistic tone as he headed to Pakistan Friday to lead the U.S. team at talks to end the war in Iran.
We're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive.
But he had a firm warning for Tehran.
If the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive.
The talks come as plumes of smoke could be seen along Lebanon's border. Iran insists the U.S. is violating the ceasefire by allowing Israel to continue strikes on Hezbollah targets there. Israel says it will open negotiations with Lebanon as early as next week. The ceasefire is also being tested in the Strait of Hormuz.
Safe passage is secured, Strait of Hormuz is open.
Iran's foreign minister says ships can coordinate with Iran's military to safely travel through the key waterway, but only 3 tankers passed through Thursday.
President Trump said Thursday night on social media Iran is doing a very poor job, dishonorable some would say, of allowing oil to go through the Strait of Hormuz, adding that is not the agreement we have.
We've seen that traffic just drying up.
Matt Smith, lead analyst with Kepler, a data and analytics firm, says it's not just oil being impacted.
It's also a lot of fertilizer, dry bulks. It is clean products. So that is gasoline, diesel, jet fuel. And so it's all manner of things.
As for gas prices, analysts expect they will come down gradually if the upcoming talks go well. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Up next, Kenneth Hickmott has the latest in Michigan sports when he brings you today's Sports Breakdown. We'll be right back.
Since the beginning of November, 36 matches in all. We have had some great competition on High School Bowl, but now it all comes down to our championship match. Hi, I'm Jim Koski. Those 2 teams battling it out for our season 47 title, Sault Ste. Marie and Ironwood. Who comes out as the ultimate champion of season 47? We'll find out this week on High School Bowl.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Kenneth Hickmott, and I'm here to bring you your Breaks Breakdown for today. It pains me to be the bearer of bad news, but Tiger center fielder Parker Meadows was wheeled off the field from Thursday night's game after suffering an ugly head-on collision with left fielder Riley Green. Meadows and Green were both chasing a line drive hit by Twins slugger Josh Bell when Meadows looked over a little too late and couldn't avoid a head-to-head collision with Green. Both players went down, Green staying on his knee and recovering quickly while still gripping the ball, while Meadows was lying on the ground facing up with blood coming from his mouth. Emergency medical personnel rushed to the field to aid Meadows, where he got up a few minutes later and sat in a cart and was taken off the field. Green stated his remorse and regret after the game, as Meadows spent the night in the hospital awaiting results. And unfortunately, we can't seem to catch a break as we take our attention to the hockey rink. The top-ranked University of Michigan ice hockey team suffered a tragic loss of 3-4 after playing a near-full 5 periods in a double overtime game against third-ranked Denver at the 2026 Frozen Four semifinals on Thursday evening. Michigan carried a 2-1 lead while heading into the locker room after the first period, but Denver came back strong in the second period, equalizing the game's score. The 2 teams would then be locked in a fierce competition where it would lead them into a double overtime situation. Michigan was leading the charge with 22-8 shots on the goal against the Pioneers. However, with Denver taking their third and final shot on the goal within the last 9 minutes of the double overtime, they would secure their victory over the Wolverines and lock in their spot in Saturday's national championship game. Fortunately, though, I do have a bit of good news coming back down into the 906, as NMU's women's lacrosse team will host their 2 last home games defending the Dome. The Cats are riding a 2-game winning streak as they prepare for Friday's rematch against the Panthers, which is looking to be a clean sweep, as well as a rematch against GVSU on Sunday, where NMU lost 4-9 earlier in the season. But before the game against GVSU on Sunday, NMU will be honoring seniors Emily Radke, Maya Snyder, and Lane Stanton as they celebrate senior weekend. And with the game on Sunday being sure to be definitive in playoff seeding, it's going to be pretty high stakes on Sunday. GVSU is riding a 5-game winning streak after starting the season off 0-7. It's looking to be an exciting weekend for our lacrosse team. That's all I have for sports. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you for that sports update, Kenneth. Emma, how are you feeling about that Tigers injury?
I'm really feeling sad about the Tigers injury. I feel like we have a lot of potential and we're still fairly early into the season, so I feel like we'll have a good run towards the end.
Yeah, it's really a shame to see another injury, especially since we're not doing too well so far.
I 100% agree. I feel like we're going to come back swinging, and I feel like we have a long way to go in the season as well.
You have to have faith in the Tigers.
Exactly. They were promising last season. I'm also hopeful about the Pistons. And that's all the time we have for Public Eye News today. I'm Emma Moratz.
And I'm Miro Bokovic.
We'll see you tomorrow.